All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello.
We're sitting outside in sunny Los Angeles. We're sweating so badly right now.
It's not
disgusting.
hot, never hot.
But we're here to cover the Ubisoft press conference. We've already done Xbox. We're here to cover the Ubisoft press conference. We just left there. We were in the stage. We were in the crowd. We were up in the nosebleed section. We could barely see anything at all, but it was fun to be there.
It was definitely colder up there than it was down there.
What?
I don't know.
So anyway, let's talk about it right now.
We've had not a lot of sleep. Let's drop. Okay, so guys, let's face it, there's some people that love Ubi games, there are some people that just, it doesn't, because a lot of it is a certain type of game.
Disagree.
No, like Division, Rainbow Six Siege, Ghosts, it's all kind of sometimes a similar style product in terms of a first-person shooter or like this whole combat militant thing.
You're talking about
then
the studio that's got Just Dance, Rayman, Rabbids, Trials,
I know that.
Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Ghost Recon, The Division.
A lot of the stuff that was shown here, a lot of emphasis was put on those types of titles, and for me, I'm not overly into those kinds of things.
I think your point is you don't like those specific games, not that Ubisoft does not have a broad portfolio.
I never said that they didn't. I'm just saying
that you said they're a specific type of game.
Those three games that they had a lot of emphasis on.
Tom Clancy games, yes.
Yes, they have a lot of emphasis on that.
Well, they didn't start with the emphasis on Tom Clancy. They instead started with Watch Dogs 3.
Like I said, you can recruit anyone, and I mean bloody anyone. Him, her, everyone is a secret weapon.
Yes.
Now, I walked into this with no interest in Watch Dogs 3 whatsoever, because the first one had lots of issues. The second one, I didn't really like the tone, and I was like, whatever, this is not going to be cool. This looked fucking cool, can I say?
Are we going to see downgrades, everybody? That is the real question.
I mean, okay, let me just say, I saw that footage, man. I do not believe that you're going to see that footage. Quite a few people called me up and they're like, nah, man, Ubisoft doesn't fake their trailer footage anymore. It's all real. Like, go back and watch the Division 2 reveal trailer and then go and watch the footage that was available immediately after. I played the Division 2 immediately after they revealed it, and I could see immediately the differences in the trailers. And they definitely touched up the visuals on that trailer, I promise you.
Yeah.
Now, don't expect it to look quite as good, but I still suspect it will look very pretty, given the fact that Division 2 was really visually stunning. Like, at launch, even despite the trailer downgrade, it still looked incredible. And I was really blown away by, what we saw of Watch Dogs 3 in terms of visual presentation. But the gameplay mechanics, man, and just
like very interesting.
The concept of it looks so fucking fun.
Yeah, it's like Agent Smith. It really is. Every single person you can interact with, it looks like on the street, of course, not like every bad guy or whatever. You can become then, it becomes like I wonder how unique each individual will be, though. I wonder
you saw quite a few on the screen, because each individual you possess or whatever control is going to have their own skills and background and whatever else.
Yeah.
And so I wonder how many character types there are. But either way, it's just a really interesting concept, and also marketed really cleverly with like the old lady who's the retired assassin.
Very cool.
And you had like the punk kid or whatever, and he's like, oh, I don't need your help, and he's like, he's in there. Different people with different backgrounds. The former MI5 guy. I mean, I just want to play this game, man. It just looks like a fun game to play.
Yeah, I look again. I actually haven't played the previous Watch Dogs. But this did look pretty interesting to me. I am excited to see what happens here, but. Yeah, I mean, and there's such a huge following with Watch Dogs. Everyone loves this fucking game.
No, I wouldn't say that. I would say it's not that universally loved. It's not. And I think the big success
from what I've seen, a lot of people were really hyped to see this shit.
I think for this one, yes.
Totally.
Because I think this trailer actually won a lot of hearts that people weren't expecting it to, So I would say definitely this was the biggest moment for Ubisoft at this show.
Yeah.
And I think this trailer really, really delivered. And I've
they
gone
spent
from being
25 minutes on. I looked at the clock at the end. I was like, wow, the first, the first quarter of this show, or whatever, was just for that trailer.
No, I went from being not interested at all to being like, I can't wait to play this. And
Definitely.
the good news is, I think we actually will play this at the show. I think we've got an appointment.
Oh, good.
I think. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I think we do. You're sweating there. You're right, Sam?
I am getting so sweaty here.
So anyway, that's Watch Dogs 3. We move next on to
a Mythic Quest TV show. Now, it didn't look that great. Like, there wasn't a lot there. That's the problem with it. Like, I was expecting a trailer to show the characters and what it's all about, but like, it didn't really give you much apart from like, it kind of felt like just I don't know what it was.
Look,
dude.
I think you could have done something. Okay, what the premise is, it's a development studio, and they're making like essentially World of Warcraft. Okay, I've always wanted to see a show like this. I've always thought to myself, man, wouldn't it be cool if we had some show set in a game dev studio where they have to like talk about their cosplay fans and their community backlash against the soared DPS numbers and like what it would be like to be a developer having to put up with fucking all the ridiculousness that we throw at developers. You know?
I wonder who they modeled the main character off. Cliffy B.
Maybe. So look, I don't think what they showed though really really had that kind of like crisp, oh yeah, you get gamers kind of humor to it, if that makes sense. There was a show actually from back in the day called The Guild, and that was perfect in terms of like just really capturing what nerds are like and what gamers are like in terms of what we find funny and what we don't, whatever else. I'm interested in this. I'm really looking forward to it, don't get me wrong, but as I said, it hasn't quite sold me yet based upon this trailer.
Yeah, I just think that you, especially with gamers, you only get 1 or 2 good chances. And that was like, there wasn't enough there to know what the hell this was.
It's also coming exclusively to Apple something or other.
I don't know if that'll be the same in Australia though. Like,
I don't even know if we have this product in Australia.
Who knows?
The Epic Games Store would be like, we'll publish it, you know?
yeah.
Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
Yes.
We saw... What's his name? The dude from the play.
You can't protect her, man. You can't protect her. Whatever.
Oh man, I like that guy though. When I watched The Walking Dead, he was awesome.
He
I
was
love that
really
dude.
great.
And so he's now like the main antagonist. He's the bad guy in this. Ghost Recon Wildlands, I did not like. I thought it was a spammy open world game that just kind of felt way too repetitive. This, they're promising to be more tactical. We didn't really see any of that today. It was very much just like, here's the concept, here's the bad guy, here's the movie star on stage, etc., etc.
Yeah, they're doing a lot. This E3, Keanu.
That's right.
The other guy from Sunny in Philly, got this dude.
Yeah, that's right. A lot of celebrity talent being thrown in there.
Yeah, and I think it's going to become more and more. But like all in all, it looked promising, I guess, but there wasn't enough.
You couldn't tell from what you saw what this game's going to be. You just can't tell yet.
Yeah, no, in terms of what they were telling us about the story and all that, like I think the actual villain seemed quite a strong villain. I mean, it's hard to know exactly what you're getting though. That's
For sure.
the thing, you know?
Okay, now this is fucking crazy, right? Just get this.
Okay, before we start, Ralph thinks that
literally this is a true story.
Sways the gaming industry.
This is how influential I am in the gaming industry, okay? Last year in December, I put out a tweet saying, I want an XCOM style Tom Clancy game where you have like characters in the Tom Clancy universe and you control all of them at once and you do XCOM kind of stuff. Go and make it, Ubisoft. Ubisoft responded to that tweet, by the way. They fucking saw it. And now here at E3, boom, what have we got? Okay, it's a mobile game. That's disappointing, but at the same time, it still exists. There is a mobile game, like XCOM style Tom Clancy thing. I want my fucking royalties, guys, Ubisoft. Give me my royalties.
Skill up to the tweet. We better throw $100 million into this game and make it right now.
That's right.
Yeah, that's how it goes, people.
That's how big a deal.
In reality, it might have been an interesting coincidence, but the game itself.
I actually spoke to the developers, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" And they're like, "Don't worry, man. We were already working on it when you tweeted it out.
Maybe
but we
they
did
don't
think it was funny.
Royalties.
Maybe they don't. They're screwing me out of their royalties.
Who knows? Who knows?
Disgusting.
But all I know is this game. Look, mobile games are for me. Didn't really pick up my interest at all.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably a game that I would download and play for 10 minutes to see what it's all about. But again, I don't know, man.
If it's a microtransaction hellscape like all other mobile games, I will not touch it.
But
if it's just
a big possibility.
But if it's like pay $10 for it and then you can play it and it's an actually good game, I would be down for that. We will see. I don't know, but I'm not holding high hopes given that mobile generally is terrible.
Yeah. Then they showed a bit of Siege. Now they showed 2 new characters. That's a game that we actually played a lot before, and I know I said before that I'm not a huge fan of those types of games, but Siege, I played a lot of that game. That is a fantastic game. I mean, I'm not overly excited for the new stuff because I just feel like I've played enough of that game, but a lot of people would be very excited for that.
There's a new PvE-focused Rainbow Six Siege game coming called Quarantine.
Yes.
It is PvE only. It's 3-player co-op. We didn't see any gameplay, but they've said it's going to be built on Siege's foundation, so you can expect basically like the Outbreak event that they had in Siege back in the day, but a fully fledged game this time. I don't know, I'm sure it'll be fun. Whether or not it's going to justify a standalone price tag, I don't know. But either way, they're sort of hyping it up. So
if they can, look, the mechanics are there. If they can deliver an interesting story for 15 hours or 20 hours, then sure, you know. I think it has good bones, and if they can make a good story, then great. Like,
I don't know if it'd be a story-based game. I feel like it'd be kind of like a Left 4 Dead sort of...
I did feel like it was it was very co-op based. It was a very co-op game, of course, but that doesn't mean that those things can't go hand in hand in terms of, you know, I don't know. Who knows? But I hope that there is. I don't want to have just like a level by level. There's no story to it. You just have to go through places. Then it feels like should this just be a game mode in Siege? You know. So I think a story actually needs to be attached to warrant a full price game if it's going to be full price game.
There was also Division 2 updates. They've said that there's going to be their next update launching like next month, and it's going to be set in the National Zoo. And also they're going to have some new game mode set in a school somewhere, but they didn't describe what that was. And the next update, episode 2, is going to be set in the Pentagon. It's going to have a new raid. And episode 3 is going to be Manhunt, which everyone is pretty clear is going to be Aaron Keener, who's the antagonist from the first game. That story was never wrapped up. What that game mode will be involving Aaron Keener or whatever, we don't know. But all we know is that that's coming in episode 3. After that, they did the whole like, hey, it's time for Ubisoft Premium subscription. So you pay $15 a month. You get access to the full back catalogue of Ubi games. It's PC only, by the way. It's 100 games in the back catalogue.
Which is a really
big number.
Sizable amount. That's what Xbox has right now.
Yep.
You know, so that's really good.
You get early access to new release games, and that includes their deluxe editions.
Yep.
And am I missing anything? It's out in September.
September, and it's going to be on Stadia, which is kind of weird. I don't know how that's going to work.
No, because Stadia next year does not require a subscription, so you'll be able to access your Ubisoft subscription through the Stadia platform.
I see. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's interesting to see that they, Stadia then will become a lot more useful if it can partner up with publishers and consoles or whatever,
For sure.
and they can just use that whole kind of
For sure.
thing. But all in all, everyone's doing that these days. Like everyone is doing a goddamn,
The laymen need a subscription service, don't we?
That would be good.
Make sure you subscribe to our
videos. You get no
videos.
extra value, but pay $14 a month, everybody. Okay.
Where's my money?
The next reveal after that was Roller Champions, which is just basically, it looks like Rocket League, but roller derby. We saw a little bit of gameplay. It's actually playable now. You can go and download this on Uplay right now. I'd like to do that, but we're working at the moment, so we can't. But it looked fun. I don't really know how much more it's got going for it than that.
Yeah, look, I mean, if we look at Rocket League, a lot of people would have looked at that and gone, oh, that looks kind of fun, and they didn't know it was going to explode. Who knows if this game is going to actually, get tremendous success and it becomes like an esport in itself. Who fucking knows? I don't even know the actual rules of it. But look, it's kind of cool that they're trying to do something along those lines. It's cool, it's ambitious. If it works, who knows?
Gods and Monsters was the next reveal, which is a Ubisoft spin-off. So they're taking the whole, everyone always loved the whole mythical element of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It looks like they're making an entire game with that, but it's very cartoon style. It's a cartoon style adventure game. We only saw a very small snippet of CGI trailer. Don't know what it is other than that, but cool. That's something that's coming next year as well. And then that's the end of the conference.
And everyone was a bit disappointed because I think we were all expecting those 3 green dots, just something to show that Splinter Cell was in the works, but we didn't see it.
No Splinter Cell news. Everyone was just like, rip,
everyone knows
rip.
it's happening. But just give us something,
Give me something, man.
Give me
Come on,
something.
Eve Gilmore, whatever your name is, Ubisoft CEO.
Huge void right now with this whole no Metal Gear. This is what people need to do. But they didn't do it. I guess they want to maybe drop it later on. Who knows?
We will see. Either way, I don't mind that they take their time with it. Get it right. The other one that we didn't see was Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Which was very strange.
I didn't think it was strange. They've said that they said it wasn't going to be at the show. They did foreshadow that.
I understand that, fine, but I'm just thinking if that's one of their biggest, most exciting things. They're bringing it back. A lot of people want to know more about the world. Just come out for 5 minutes and going, X, Y, and Z. This is what's going on. This is the rough release date or rough this or just something. But to leave it out entirely when everyone knows that it's one of the biggest new titles that they're working on, bit weird.
Totally agree.
Bit weird, everyone. But apart from that, I enjoyed.
What did you think of the show?
I thought it was okay. As I said, there are some titles that they did go into depth in that I either not that keen on anymore, like Siege, even though I loved it before, or just not really my thing. But at the same time, they're all very competent games, the ones that are already out, and a lot of the ones that are coming out look like they're fine, but yeah, it was fine. There was nothing glaringly bad about that at all,
Yeah, look, I think Ubisoft did what it does every year, which is it just puts out a whole bunch of trailers for games that you'd want to play. You know what I mean? I don't think there was any knockout punch, except for Watch Dogs, which I really believe was a very special reveal. I really thought that looked exceptional.
Yeah, it definitely got me on board for something that I wasn't interested in at all. So I will say that at the beginning of the conference, I was like, of the presentation, I was like, okay, cool, this is pretty cool. But apart from that, it was all very okay, cool.
Well, I would say, don't forget, all of those games are coming out in the near term, and they all look like they'd be pretty fun to play. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
Yep.
So
Yep.
that I think is an achievement in itself. It's all from one publisher, it's all from Ubisoft, so it's not like you've got 10 different publishers working together to create what you saw. It's just them, and I've always appreciated that Ubisoft have a big, broad portfolio. Some of their games aren't the best. Some of the monetization they bring to the table is garbage tier, but at least they try and make some interesting titles, and we
agree
saw
with
some
that.
interesting titles today. You know,
Yeah.
so that's the take on the Ubisoft show.
We're gonna go
the
now
next
play some
one,
games.
We're gonna go play some games. We're gonna hopefully play Doom right now, and also that Bleeding Edge game from Xbox, and also we're gonna have the Square Enix show tonight. So we might have the Square Enix video out to you tonight or tomorrow morning, depending on our upload schedule.
see.
Big thanks to our editor Sean.
you, Sean.
You're
Love
the
you,
man.
man.
We love you, and we'll see you guys in the next video.